Hello everybody and welcome back to The Legend of Dragoon. My name's Cody, and in the last episode, some more of our party members dealt with their personal issues and their pasts. Here on the moon, all of our party members have been forced into individual situations where they've been forced to confront something that they might not have wanted to. For example, Albert faced Emperor Doll, who told him that, look, Albert's king and father, King Carlo, maybe he wasn't so perfect after all. Maybe Albert was since he was 6 when it all went down, maybe he's hearing an idealized version of those events, and King Carlo maybe wasn't that good a king. And, Miranda had to deal with her mother who abandoned her, and Hatchell had to deal with his daughter who ran away. What Meru is dealing with here is something similar, in that she's facing her own past as well, or her upbringing more accurately. This is the Archangel, who I believe is basically the god of the Wingley religion. We saw the Archangel, or a statue or something of the Archangel back in the Wingley Forest. And here the Archangel basically represents the oppressive nature of the Wingleys, or of the Wingleys' past, where, this is how Meru would have been raised, is believing that Wingleys were superior, and, even though they weren't, even though the Wingleys in the forest didn't necessarily have plans for world domination, because they were in hiding, I think a lot of them still believed that they were the superior creatures, that they were born to be above all of these other species. And look at this attack animation. Look at the elephant, which walks on its front legs and flies on its back legs, that appears not for any good reason. Like, it doesn't attack. It just sort of sits around while the Wingley army attacks. That's a great attack animation, isn't it? So let's heal up Meru. So Meru, through the course of this, will sort of deal with the Archangel and sort of the lies that the Archangel and the Wingleys used to justify their oppression. The fact that they just ruled over other races, and they killed off races, and they made them fight each other in coliseums to the death, while the Wingleys sat and watched as a blood sport. The Wingleys were bad. The Wingleys were basically just like white supremacists who think that, these other people, they wouldn't last by themselves. There was actually there's a lot of the real world parallels are pretty obvious in this one. Like, it used to be that white supremacists would justify like slavery in America by saying, oh, well, they're feeble-minded, they want to be ruled, they wouldn't be able to handle going out on their own. Like, you talk about, a bird that you'd kept in a cage all its life, and then if you let it out, it would die, and you're just being nice to them. And, of course, Meru says, that's all garbage. That's all, that's just making excuses for yourself. Humans aren't aren't inferior to the Wingleys. They might not be as strong, they might not have, say, magical power, but they're just as smart, they're just as noble, they have the same possibility for joy and friendship and harmony and all of the good things as anyone else. And the Archangel here says that, Meru would be in trouble with this persona, that he's here based on, a fragment of Meru's mind, which I think is probably true. Because, as much as she consciously works against her upbringing. She says, no, I'm not going to be a racist. She still would have that, how she was raised, just at the back of her mind all the time. And this is her confronting Wingley culture, basically, and saying, no, I'm going to step out completely onto my own. I'm going to call out this stuff for what it is, which is racist trash, and I'm going to symbolically defeat the Archangel. See, I probably should have healed there, but this is more dramatic. Is a do or die where, if I'd been counted right there, it would have been over. But it looks like it's over, and Meru has won. Meru, get out of my sight. I love humans, says Meru. And he gets out of her sight, and she has conquered her, you know, her wingly past, and is now set forward into a future where everyone lives in harmony. And she's hit level 40. I think she might be the first one other than Dart to do so, which I'm not sure. I should check it in a second, but level 40 is pretty significant. Of course I am. Look at that exclamation mark, question mark there, like, of course I am? Of course I am? Like, she's just astonished that it would get brought up. Alright, let's have a look at this. Yeah, she is the first level 40 aside from Dart who is way ahead of everyone else because of obvious reasons. And by obvious reasons, I mean, hold on, let's go with Miranda. And by obvious reasons, I mean that he can't be taken out of the party. So there's no way to sort of maintain an equal level of leveling unless you're willing to do a trick where Dart dies at the start of every battle, which you can do with his Soul Eater weapon, by the way, because he takes damage every time he takes a turn, and you just leave him at 1 health and he'll keep dying at the start of every battle, and everyone else will gain XP without him. But that's a long and arduous process for no real purpose. Just if you wanted the levels to be the same, you could grind for hours with Dart dead to try and solve that. Something worth bringing up, but not really worth doing, in my opinion. So, you know, like, because we're level 40, I think the max, I think it goes up to level 50, but we're not going to need that. So you can see this area is unlike, well, as they were just saying, this area is unlike anything we've seen before. Previously, all the areas of the moon looked like places we already knew, places from people's pasts. Not this time. This time, it's very clear that this is just the core of the moon. Like, there's a chair there, there's a picture of a chair. Things are, there's just cubes. Like, this is how you know you're in the core of the moon. If there's cubes, if everything's made out of rectangles, if there's a picture of a chair, that's how you know. That's how you know you're on the moon. Hello. It's probably worth getting into a battle here because it's actually fun to see. Hey, don't attack Miranda. It's fun to see this this battle zone. You can see it. Let me. It's actually got a pretty cool, unique battle thing going on here. So I've switched the party to Albert and Miranda, partly because I probably won't be using them in the final battle, and I want to give them a good shot. I want to give them a good shot at just what's the term? Just getting some screen time near the end, and it's also because there's a boss coming up in this episode. If I can get past the random encounters here, in this episode there is a boss coming up who is going to, for the final time. Oh, come on. I was right near the end there. Whatever. Let's find another guy. Let's fight this guy, whoever this is. It looks like a witch from earlier in the game, I think. This one's called a Psyche Druid. And do you know what we love about Psyche Druids? It's that we can use the Psychic Bomb X on them because it's they share a name. Alright, let's go. 2,000 damage, and it takes it straight out. Thanks, Miranda. One of the benefits of having Miranda, like, if you're past the point of getting the Psych Bomb X, you can basically just make all random encounters trivial from that point on by keeping Miranda in the party and just using the Psych Bomb X, because that did 2,000 damage. Would have done about like 1,400 if Dart had been using it, probably. Miranda just got the high magic for it. So you can see this is an important area because you can see, I think that's Neat. I think that's 18 years ago, the destruction of Neat. Just on this big, like, series of weird rectangle TV screens over here. And it changes to whatever this is. My world, my future, my here. Who is it? My world, my future, my heart. See, that's what it was trying to say before. It wasn't saying my here, because that's not a sentence. That doesn't actually make any sense. So yeah, creepy TV screen. It's the most creepy TV screen we've seen in this series thus far. And we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward into, well, watch and see. In this amazing looking cavern tube Star Wars purple space thing, we're blocked off by a Super Viraj who's acting as a gatekeeper to protect the god of destruction. Dart says, well, I don't care what's waiting for us, let's take it out. Yeah. Alright. Enemies start to get really tough at this point in the game, and the Super Viraj is no exception. You should be careful. You know, I'm in a bit of danger here probably because, well, I'll be honest, I kind of don't have all the correct items on the correct players, because I've stopped paying attention to it because it got so easy. I'm not sure who has the legend casks on and who has the armor of legend, if anyone, at the moment. But that's alright. Let's use the Psych Bomb X, because there's the head, the body, and the arm, as we've seen with previous Virages. And we can attack them all at once with this, so let's see how much we do. Oh nice, that's a good amount of damage all around. And that was the sound of the arm getting destroyed, which, I mean, I know the arm's still there, but you can see we can no longer target the arm. So, I didn't mean to say arm right there. Alright, let's attack the head. There's no point in attacking more, because I think if you attack the head, it will kill him. As with previous Virages, I think either the head or body. But I decided to go for the head. And ouch! That did 0 damage to Miranda. She must be wearing the legend cast or something. And now we're going to switch into Miranda with one final Sailor Moon looking transformation thing where she turns into Shauna. See how she's got brown hair? I think that's because they reused the Shauna animation. That's been my suspicion all along. Anyway, what we're going to do is, you guessed it, White Silver Dragon. I don't plan on taking her into the final fight, so this is sort of her, you know, this is her chance to shine. Let's go. Look at that damage. Once again, Miranda, you are really, and just like fully healing, I think, all of our party members as well. Did that finish him off? Looks like it, and finishes off with an explosion, which is another reason it's useful to activate the Dragoon special. Because it drastically reduces the amount of damage taken. It seems like Miranda and Dart probably both had legend casks, but Albert wasn't so lucky, but that's alright. He still had his Dragoon armor protecting him, because he was switched into Dragoon form, and we get levels up for everyone in the party plus Rose, which is nice. And Dart says, was the Super Viraj that we defeated in reality Shauna? No. I mean, why are you so sure? Look, Dart's kind of freaking out at this point. I think the Shauna thing is his own, because you know how everyone else has gone through their personal revelations, but Dart hasn't? look, it's you know, he's the one getting freaked out now because the thing he has to deal with is Shana, which obviously that Super Viraj wasn't Shana because she's not something as small fry as that. You know, she's the god of destruction, not one of its bodyguards. So in the next episode, we're gonna head into the light. I'm gonna see you then.